Welcome back to MMA Wizards. We usually post predictions on Friday, but Wednesday better lines up with our time. Without further ado, let's get straight into these UFC 296 predictions. Starting the main card, we will see top-level fighters Vicente Luque and Ian Garry go at it for 3 rounds. The hype surrounding this fight is as good as any, and is sure to end in a big finish. While Vicente is a great striker in his own right, we are leaning more towards the side of Garry, who might have become a bit of a meme recently, but is definitely a solid fighter with great kickboxing. If Garry stays present and doesn't get caught up in his own drama, we think he will use his kickboxing well, especially to the legs and body, eventually getting the finish over Luque. We will take Garry by finish in the second round. Now for what the people have been waiting for. Tony Ferguson in his possible retirement fight against Paddy Pimblett. It's an interesting matchup, because both have a somewhat lacking defensive game, but both try to finish the fights as best they can. Paddy is the much younger and talented fighter at this point, which leaves us no choice but to pick him over a washed Tony Ferguson. They have done a great job at selling this fight, with Tony even bringing out David Goggins. Some question this decision by Ferguson, thinking that it will not help Tony to get ready for this fight in the proper way. We made a couple videos on this topic which you can watch now, but it seems like everyone is on the same page, wanting Tony to win and retire off into the sunset. We know it's gonna be a fun fight, and we can only hope that Tony does the right thing and retires after this fight, leaving behind a great legacy and ending the suffering of his fans. Anyhow, the next fight is a great one at welterweight again. Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Stephen Thompson is an excellent matchup with a lot of potential. While the easy pick is obviously Shavkat, we think if Wonderboy can stop the takedowns, then this is gonna be a better fight than expected. If Rakhmonov can get Thompson down and get damage off, then it is going to be a long night for Wonderboy. We could be seeing a double retirement on this card with Tony and Wonderboy, but we have to take Shavkat Rakhmonov by submission in the first round. He will be too skillful on the ground in this fight. Next up is the Flyweight Championship of the World, featuring Alexandre Pantoja and Brandon Royval, a rematch which sets the stage perfectly for the main event. This is gonna be an absolute car crash of a fight. This will be difficult for Royval because Alexandre is a hunter, who will certainly stop at nothing to finish Royval. It will be on Royval to make in-fight adjustments to possibly win this fight. After all, we have seen Pantoja use his determination to win against Brandon Moreno, who made it a close war on paper. However, we don't think Royval has that same ability, and if Pantoja decides to collide with him, it's gonna be tough to get him off. Alexandre controls this fight wherever it goes, and we can see him getting a finish in the very first round. Let us know who you're picking in the comments. And now onto the main event. Colby Covington will take on Leon Edwards for his welterweight title. This action-packed fight is sure to deliver no matter how it goes. With opposite styles crashing together, we know it's gonna be fun. Hey, real quick, we made a breakdown on this fight, which you can watch now. Just go back a couple videos and you'll find it. Anyway, we discussed how good Colby weaponizes his cardio and match with a complete wrestling game. He is sure to be a handful for Leon, also recognizing his body kick as his best strength, and his defensiveness kind of being a big weakness. With such a sharpened striker like Leon, he cannot afford to make these mistakes. Unfortunately, these mistakes are bound to appear due to muscle memory and also Covington not being a striker at heart. We think Leon will take a slow approach, picking at the weaknesses of Covington in order to try to use it against him later on. Anywhere Colby tries to take this fight is going to be challenging due to Leon's strength and speed. With him also being the bigger guy, it will definitely help him to retain his title. Ultimately, we are going to take Leon by 4th round finish, using his clinch work and kickboxing to dominate this fight. We could see another cold moment like this. Or will Covington show up as a new version? This is unlikely because ring rust is in fact a real thing.